I hope you're having a good afternoon. Antes de iniciar, nada más comentarios en la clase. Bueno, esta semana vamos a empezar con el último subtema de la unidad 5, que es el 5.3, 5.3. Then next week we are going to have the reviews for 2 days. And then on Thursday, we're gonna have the exam, okay? The exam for the second evaluation next week. So during this week, we're gonna finish with the unit 5. Next week, we're gonna have the review for in Tuesday and Wednesday. And then on Thursday, we're going to have the exam, okay? So let's start then. As every last subtopic of unit, this one is more of vocabulary. They tend to be kind of short, tienden a ser muy cortas porque ya la última, el último subtema, it is more of vocabulary, more of practicing, and we don't have that much content of grammar, for example. Okay, so let's start then. The topic for unit 5.3, it's called totally disagree. So when we agree with something means that we are okay with it, right? So when we disagree means the opposite. It means that we are not happy with whatever they're deciding or saying. So here it says, vocabulary internet terms. Look at the internet terms in the box below and answer the questions. Okay, so let's start with the words we have in here. It says travel website, search engine, online news, social media site, music download site, photo sharing site, and message board. Okay, before we go to the questions, let's review each one of them. So, travel website. What is a travel website? Without saying it in Spanish, can you mention examples of travel website? So maybe we can have an idea of what a travel website is. Can you give examples of travel websites?
¿Serían las páginas de
Discovery
internet?
Channel.
Ah, no.
Oh, travel website. What is travel?
Viaje.
Uh-huh. So a travel website, what could it be?
Es una agencia de viajes, maestra, o una página para viajar.
It's a website that offers you hotels, cheap air, I don't know, supongamos que there's there's something, they make you like kind of packages offering you the hotel, the staying, and a bus, some tours, etc. Right? So a travel website is a website where you can find information related to traveling. Okay, then it says search engine. What's a search engine? What comes to your mind with a search engine? We're talking about internet websites. So what could be a search engine? Can you give me an example of something that comes to your mind?
Un buscador de energía.
No necesariamente de energía, es un buscador. For example,
como el Google.
Google, I don't know if it still exists, Yahoo. I remember that Yahoo used to be a search engine. I don't know if it is still working, but well, Google, it's a search engine. Online news. Well, the news, las noticias. Online news could be any kind of newspaper could be, but it's not on paper, right? It's online. So online news could be the website of the Imparcial, of any kind of news. Social media site, very common and popular nowadays. So in social media sites, we can have Facebook, we can have Twitter, we can have Instagram, we can have many others, right? To be honest, I don't remember all of them, but I know that those are the 3 most common. Then we have music download site. Probably nowadays it's not that common to get into these websites of downloaded sites. A lo mejor ya no es tan común. But I remember that years ago we used to have these systems that were called limeware or Ares, I guess it was. So Ares or limeware, where you downloaded that and then you could download music. Nowadays it's not that common to download the music because you can listen to it online. But I don't know, do you know any music download site?
For music, el Spotify.
Could be a Spotify, right? Many people listen to the music online, but there's still people who download the music, right? So it could be Spotify, YouTube, etc. Photo sharing site. This one is very common and familiar to the social media. Es muy común como el social media. La diferencia pudiera ser que el photo sharing pues es más que nada para fotografías o videos or something like that. For example, Instagram could be a great example for a photo sharing site. Because, for example, on Facebook, you don't only share pictures. Es más como para, tú compartes information, memes, you have conversations, you can chat, etc. And you can also post pictures, but it's not specifically for that. And Instagram, it is for pictures, and you can chat maybe, but it's more, I mean, you cannot post something without a picture, right? So a photo sharing site, it's an exclusively site for pictures or for photos. And message board. A message board, it's more like, it's como un foro where you post something and then people start commenting on that. Entonces ya la gente comienza a comentar de acuerdo a lo que tú compartiste, right? O al revés, pues tú comentas on something that you are reading on the internet. Message boards, we can have this type of message board.
Como el estado del WhatsApp, maestra.
No necesariamente, pues es que pudiera ser porque también aplica, por ejemplo, para Facebook, porque el message board es más bien como cuando abres un foro, por así decirlo, o sea, tú escribes algo, entonces ya la gente empieza a comentar y hay varios comentarios. So, hay páginas específicamente para este tipo de que pones tu duda, entonces ya de ahí te empiezan a comentar, pero también...
Como el Yahoo.
Ándale.
Como era antes el Yahoo.
Algo así se me ocurre.
Okay.
Ajá, como en Yahoo de preguntas y respuestas y así. Okay, so after reviewing these vocabulary words, now let's go to the questions. And it says, number 1, do you use or visit any of this? I'll say yes, right? All of us do it. Okay, which ones do you visit most frequently? I'm gonna ask Alexia. Which of these options do you visit most frequently?
La 2.
Search engine, Google, for example, or social media.
Perdón. No.
This one or this one?
¿Qué es lo que visito frecuentemente?
Ajá.
Oh, photo sharing.
Photo sharing site. Yes. Okay, by the way, por cierto, if you like traveling in that, today I noticed that in Viva Aerobús and Volaris, they have flights very, very, very cheap. O sea, vuelos de que de aquí a México en 100 pesos. Obviamente es antes del TUA, pero está súper bien. So if you like traveling, you can check travel websites because there are many good options. Y no aplican como que para ahorita, las puedes poner para mucho tiempo después. Okay. So number 3. Well, I'm going to ask each one of you number 2. Which one do you visit most frequently? Ana?
Maybe a social media site.
Social media site. Okay.
And I think is very useful because you can be more near for the people.
Oh, okay, good. Especially now because in this pandemic, we don't see our relatives as we used to, right? So that is useful for. Thank you. Robin, tell me, Robin, which of these options do you visit most frequently?
¿El que uso más o el que no
Yes,
uso tanto?
most frequently.
Search engine.
Search engine, okay, thank you. Mixie, what about you?
I'm music download site.
Music download site, thank you.
Yes.
Michelle?
Mm, ¿Cuál dijo que era el photo sharing site?
Like Instagram, for example.
Ah, ese.
That one, okay. Alexis?
Social media.
Okay. And Judith?
Social media y music wonder site.
Okay, music download and social media. Okay, so probably the most common one is social media, right? Okay, number 3. Do you think they are useful or not very useful and why? Okay, so let's talk about the travel website. Let's go with each one of them. The travel website, do you consider it's useful or not very useful?
Can you repeat, please?
Yes. The travel website, do you think it is useful or not very useful?
Maybe si lo
Travel
usamos.
website.
Yes, travel website.
I think a lot of people use.
So a lot of people use it, so it's useful for many people. Okay. I don't know if it was Michelle or Mixi who was about to talk. ¿Quién iba a participar?
No, perdón, es que no entendía su pregunta.
Did you get it? ¿La entendiste?
No.
Okay. Do you think they are useful or not very useful? Useful es que son útiles. And not very useful, pues no tan útiles, right? So, travel website, the first option, do you think it's useful or not very useful?
No, it's useful.
It is useful? Okay. Search engine, Google, is it useful or not very useful?
Very, very useful.
Very useful, right? Okay. Online news, what do you think, guys? Useful or not very useful?
Useful.
Okay, useful. Social media site,
Yes, useful.
it is useful, right? Okay, music download,
Very useful.
yeah, very useful. Photo sharing site, what do you think? Instagram, is it useful or not very useful?
Yes, it's
For
useful.
me, not very useful.
Not very useful for you. And it's funny because there's people who have Instagram and they like check and everything, but they don't upload anything. So I don't know, there's some people who doesn't like to upload pictures, but they still use it. So it could be not very useful maybe, but it could be useful too, right? But not that very useful, as Robin said. Okay, then the last one, message board. Los foros de preguntas y respuestas. Do you think they are useful or not very useful?
Not very useful.
Not very useful. The thing with this is that not many experts answer you. O sea, a lo mejor tú esperas respuestas de personas que sepan y a veces simplemente son respuestas random, right? O sea, al azar. So, I agree with you. They are not very useful. Okay, now it says reading. Look at the picture. Do you think that people waste a lot of time on the internet when they should be working? waste a lot of time. Pierden mucho tiempo. So do you think that people waste a lot of time on the internet when they should be working? We're gonna read to find out. Okay, do I have a volunteer to read? Does anybody want? Oh, que sí está larguito. A ver, vamos a dividirlo. I have 7 students here. So, okay, one is gonna read till here. Another one till here. Another one till here. Okay, I need 3 students. So, Michelle, can you read till vacation, please?
¿Dónde, teacher?
Empieza y lee hasta aquí, till vacation.
Tienes el micrófono apagado.
Many of us find it difficult to concentrate on Fridays, so it's not surprise that nearly half of us waste our time at work on Friday afternoons by looking at funny news articles on the internet, watching silly cat videos, or planning our next vacation.
Thank you. Okay, so it says that it's difficult to concentrate on Fridays. So people start wasting time, maybe just watching or looking at videos or planning vacations. For example, me in the morning that que estaba viendo los viajes y me entretuve ahí. No compré nada, pero me entretuve viendo. Okay, next. Let's see. Alexia, can you read? Continue, please, still here.
But unfortunately,
Fortunately,
¿cómo?
unfortunately.
Unfortunately,
Okay.
the problem is you inside. Is who's a everyday problem. People are wasting more and more time being distracted by the internet and social media when they should be working or studying.
Thank you. Robin?
A report has shown how computer users waste up to 8 days a month on the internet. Most of the people who were questioned said they were distracted all or most of the time when they work or study online.
Okay. Alexis?
The study showed that the internet can be bad for relationships too, since people argue with their partners who spend too much time in front of their computer or mobile device. Luckily, there is simple answer to the problem, yet of the internet and yet on wildlife.
Okay. So this is saying that many people complain, for example, here, talking about relationships, that they complain that they don't have time or that they spend so much time using social media, for example, or being on the cell phone. So it says in here, get off the internet and get on with life. It's like, okay, maybe what this paragraph is trying to say is that we should like establish maybe times for using the cell phone and not using it like all day, because it is kind of a waste of time. That's what it says in here, that maybe it's good for some days but not for every single day. But well, that is what it says in here, right? It says people are wasting more and more time being distracted by the internet and social media when they should be working or studying. A report has shown how computers users waste up to 8 days a month on the internet. And I think this is especially where it says in here, when they work or study online. I think this is kind of true, because when we are in the classroom, like face to face, it's less probable that you are using your cell phone. And when we are in online, I don't get to see all of my students, so I don't know if they are playing video games or if they are doing something else because they have their camera off or something, so I don't get to see them. So maybe they're doing something else, right? But not paying attention. So I think this could be half true, but not that true, right? Okay, so now let's go to the questions it says in here. What is the problem with Friday afternoons? What does it say related to Friday afternoons, according to the reading?
The people is waiting lost in the social media.
Sorry. Yes, okay. So people is using social media on Fridays, right? That's what it says in there, on Fridays. Okay. Number 2, what kinds of distractions does the article talk about? ¿Qué tipo de distracciones menciona el artículo? I'm gonna go back at it. What type of distractions does it mention?
Social media.
Social media. Okay, social media is a distractor, right? Then it says, how much time do people waste not working? Do you remember how much time did it say that people waste not working or on the internet when they should be working?
8 hours
8 days a month.
a month. Okay.
A month. And why is the internet bad for relationships? According to the reading. According to the reading, why is the internet bad for relationships?
Because the people are in the device, in the cell phone.
According to the reading, it says that people spend so much time on the cell phone that they kind of ignore or lose their relationship. O sea, la pierden, they ignore it, and they waste that time, right? It's in a second thing. Okay, so it says in here, do you think being on the internet is a good way to spend your free time? Or do you think people spend too much time on the internet? So in general, what do you think is more true? ¿Cuál creen que sea más verdad? That being on the internet is a good way to spend free time, or that people spend too much time on the internet? What do you think is more true for you?
The people spend too much time on the internet.
Yeah.
For me.
And I agree with you, and especially now with this pandemic that we have to be at home, so there's people on the cell phone all day, and since we have home office, since we have school, like online lessons, etc., so we have to be here, and it ends up being a distractor too, right? Okay. So now it says in here, function giving opinions. Listen to 3 people discussing the internet. Are the statements true or false? Okay, so these are the statements. It says, the men both use the internet at work. The men both use the internet at work. Okay, that is the first one. Number 2, the woman thinks people shouldn't use the internet when they are at work. Number 3, the men both think that the internet is a waste of time. And 4, the woman says some people prefer the internet to sports. Okay, so we're gonna listen to 3 people. 2 of them are men and 1 of them is a woman, okay? So basically what we have to do is to figure out if these sentences are true or false.
Unit 11, recording S11.5.
I use the internet all day at work, and I still get my work done. Yeah, me too. I'm sorry, but I really don't see what the problem is.
I think the problem is that lots of workers spend all day surfing the internet and wasting their time instead of doing their work. And students at college are failing their courses because they spend all their time checking Facebook and watching videos that friends send them.
Yes, that's true, but I don't think that the problem is the internet. You know, I think the problem is with the websites like Facebook. Yeah, definitely. Like YouTube. Some companies and colleges stop you from using certain websites, and in my opinion, that's okay.
But it's so easy to waste time. I don't think you should use the internet when you're trying to work, unless you need it for your work, for research or something.
I'm not sure about that. Going on the internet sometimes gives you a break. It's like having a cup of coffee or talking to someone in the office. People should use the internet as much as they like.
I don't think so.
Yes, that's right. I think it's good. I run a small business, and my staff uses the internet as much as they want to. I don't check what they are doing. They do all their work, and they are happy. I don't think it's a waste of time at all. It's the same as going to a bookstore.
No, but
Or looking through a pile of magazines.
I'm afraid I totally disagree. The problem is that people are addicts. People aren't addicted to reading books, but the internet is different. People spend too much time in front of their computer or their phone. They choose the internet over sports and going out. They forget how to live in the real world, and I think it's a real problem.
Okay, so could you understand the conversation they were having?
¿Puede poner otra vez, teacher?
Yes, I'll play it again and I'm gonna show you the script.
Unit 11, recording S11.5.
I use the internet all day at work, and I still get my work done. Yeah, me too. I'm sorry, but I really don't see what the problem is.
I think the problem is that lots of workers spend all day surfing the internet and wasting their time instead of doing their work. And students at college are failing their courses because they spend all their time checking Facebook and watching videos that friends send them.
Yes, that's true, but I don't think that the problem is the internet. You know, I think the problem is with the websites like Facebook. Yeah, definitely. Like YouTube. Some companies and colleges stop you from using certain websites, and in my opinion, that's okay.
But it's so easy to waste time. I don't think you should use the internet when you're trying to work, unless you need it for your work, for research or something.
I'm not sure about that. Going on the internet sometimes gives you a break. It's like having a cup of coffee or talking to someone in the office. People should use the internet as much as they like.
I don't think so.
Yes, that's right. I think it's good. I run a small business, and my staff uses the internet as much as they want to. I don't check what they are doing. They do all their work, and they are happy. I don't think it's a waste of time at all. It's the same as going to a bookstore.
No, but
Or looking through a pile of magazines.
I'm afraid I totally disagree. The problem is that people are addicts. People aren't addicted to reading books, but the internet is different. People spend too much time in front of their computer or their phone. They choose the internet over sports and going out. They forget how to live in the real world, and I think it's a real problem.
Okay, so yeah, they're talking about how the internet If it is good, well, not necessarily the internet. Well, yeah, they're talking about the internet in general, but they're talking about the usage they give to it. So it says in here, the men, because there were two men, the men both use the internet at work. True or false?
True.
True. Okay, the woman thinks people shouldn't use the internet when they are at work. True or false?
True.
True. She thinks that they shouldn't use the internet. Okay, number 3. The men both think that the internet is a waste of time.
What is both? The men both?
Yes. So it says the men both think that the internet is a waste of time. True or false?
False.
It's false. They actually say that they have no problem that with the people who use the internet or the cell phone while they are working. They say that it's like to be more relaxed, or as soon as they do their job, it's good for them. Okay, number 4. The woman says some people prefer the internet to sports. True or
True.
false? The woman says some people, tell me, Michelle.
Pues ya le dije true.
Ah, no te escuché, sorry. Yeah, true. So that's what she said, right? Okay, very good. Now, I'll erase this. And it says in here, oh, sorry. Look at the statements and the ideas mentioned. Surfing in the internet is using the internet, right? Es usar el internet. Okay, surfing on the internet is addictive. Some people can stop using it. Ok, las ideas mencionadas, lo que escuchamos, de acuerdo a lo que escucharon en el audio. Surfing on the internet is addictive. Some people can stop using it. Was in the audio or not, or wasn't?
Yes.
Yes, it was, right? Okay, bad for relationships. Did the recording mention something about relationships? No, right? Okay, number 3, dangerous. You can meet dangerous people. No, this wasn't mentioned either. 4, good when you want a break from work. Yes, right? Okay. 5, causing people to fail their college degrees because they spend too much time on social media when they should be working. I mean, studying. Was it or wasn't?
Yes.
Yes, it was. And did the recording or the conversation mention something about a waste of time? That using the internet is a waste of time?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Well, guys, that was it for today. Do you have any question about what we discussed today?
No.
It was very short, right? Es que todavía nos quedan 2 días y el material para esta semana, como les digo, ya no vamos a ver gramática. Es más, just speaking. Dime, Ana.
Teacher, ¿puede decir en español lo que dijo acerca de lo del examen de la próxima semana? O sea, vamos a repasar la próxima semana para lo del examen.
Sí, el examen
ok.
es el jueves y el lunes,
Ok.
el martes y el miércoles es el review.
Ok. Gracias, maestra.
You're welcome. Well, guys, a ver, ¿quién me falta? Nadie, ¿verdad? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Complete. Okay. Well, see you tomorrow, guys. Have a nice day. Bye.
Thanks,
Bye,
teacher.
teacher.
Bye.